Hello everybody and welcome back to Python lesson. This is the fourth lesson and today we are going to learn how to make a loop in a programming. Before starting the loop, let's just look back the if syntax. Here I want to show you what is a flowchart. What is a flowchart? A flowchart is a graphical representation of a code. Each step in the code is represented by different symbols. Now here we have an example, and in this example we are asked to define if the x number is positive or negative. Diamond shape here in this flowchart represents a condition. It's going to check if this is bigger than 0. If it's bigger than 0, then it goes to true wing and then prints out positive text. If this is not true, then it goes to false wing and prints out this text negative. Like this, flowchart ends. So this is how flowchart looks like. Now you know what is a flowchart, and it will be easier for you to understand the loops. Let's go. Now what is a loop? Loops are a very important part of a programming. In fact, almost all programmers use loops. Almost all programs include at least one loop in them. Loops can be very useful and can save you a lot of time. Now let's do one example here. In this example, you are asked to print out a sequence of numbers from 0 to 5. In order to print out any number, any text or number, you have to write a function print, and then we'll start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's run and see. Now let's turn to another example. In this example, we have to print out a sequence of numbers from 0 to 100. What we'll do now? Will you write like this? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on till 100? No, of course. In such cases, we will use loops. Of course, without loops, you can also output numbers from 0 to 100, but it's very boring and it's also very time-consuming. That's why, for that reason, it's much more suitable to solve it with loops. Now let's go and learn the syntax of a loop. There are two loop commands. First of it is while, second one is for. Actually, they are the same, the only difference is in their syntax. The purpose of a loop actually is to repeat the same code over and over again a number of times. So both of them, while and for, they do the same thing, and they do the same job. That's why no difference which one you will use. Now let's firstly show you what is a while. While it executes a piece of code over and over again until the condition is false. Let's look at its syntax. Firstly, you will write a text while, then you will put a condition, and after a colon, you will put a body of a while. Let me show it in a flowchart. Firstly, you will do an initialization, and then you will do a condition. If this condition is true, it will perform this body of while. Then it will go to condition again. Then it will check if it's true. It will perform the body of while. Like this, it will iterate. It will make a loop. The condition will make a loop until it is false. When it's false, the condition, the loop will stop, and the flowchart ends. Now let's do this example. This is example I have taken from Wither Schools. In this example, you are asked to print out the numbers from 1 to 5. So the output you will see here. Let me explain you with a flowchart. Now here I plus is equal to 1 is the same as I is equal to I plus 1. Just take a note of it. Firstly, in this program, we have an initialization, I is equal to 1. Then we have a condition, I is smaller than 5. So what is I? I is equal to 1. 1 is smaller than 5, it is true. Then it will print out 1. Then on the output you will see a number 1. And after that, I will be equal to I plus 1. It means I will be equal to 2. And it will go to the condition again. So I is equal to 2 now. 2 is smaller than 5. It is true. So it will print out the number 2 and I will become 3. And then it will go to the condition again. I is 3 now. 3 is smaller than 5. It is true. It will print out 3. I will be 4. Now it will go to condition again, and 4 is smaller than 5. It is true. Then it will print out 4. I will be equal to 5. Then it goes to condition again. 5 is smaller than 5. This is incorrect. This is false. So like this, the while loop stops. So it iterated, it make a loop 5 times. Print I plus is equal to 1. This two line of code performed how many times? 4 times. Let's go on. For loop. Now let me show this code in a program. Here we are asked to print out numbers from 0 to 100. So let's do it with while. Firstly, we should initialize the I. Let it be in the beginning 0 because it's asking to print out from 0. Then I will write while, and I will write here a condition I is smaller than 100. Till 100 it should rotate. Don't forget colon. Then let's write print I, and then I should increment the I. I is equal to I plus 1, you may write, or I plus is equal to 1. They are same. Now let's run and see what will be the output. Now as you see, all the numbers from 0 to 100 is outputted. But till 99 it outputted. So here you have to write 101 if you want to include 100 also. Like this, you can make the steps too. For example, if you write here I is equal to I plus 2, then the step will be 2. Now let's run and see what will happen. It started from 0, then it became 2, then 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. The step here became 2. Like this, you can change the steps. Now let's go to for loop. What is a for loop? In a for loop, you will use a sequence of numbers. The difference is that it iterates over the members of a sequence. Now, where is the sequence? Sequence here can be either a list of numbers or a list of strings, etc. But today we'll not use any lists. We'll use the function range. But before, let's show you the syntax of for loop. We'll write a text for, then here we'll write a variable, then you will use a sequence and body of for. Let's look at its flowchart. Firstly, you will have a sequence, and you will take all of its member, and until it reaches the last item of a list, it will iterate. When it reaches the last item, then the flowchart ends. So, what is a range function? Range function we use for the for loop, and it has a start point and a stop point and a step size. Now let me do that example that we have done with while with a for loop. Syntax, it looks like this. You will write for, then you will have a variable, let it be I. In range, 1 is start point, 5 is stop point, step size is 1. Step size, if you don't indicate step size, by default it will be 1. So here you may not write the 1. Then we print the I. Now let's see it with a flowchart. Firstly, we have a sequence of numbers. It started with 1 and the stop point is 5. So this is our sequence. Firstly, I will be equal to 1. This is the first member of a sequence. Now, 1 is equal to 5. Is it correct or false? It is false. So it will go to here and it will print I. So what was I? It was 1. It will be outputted. Then it goes to condition again. So before it went to condition, our I became 2. Why? Because here we have step size. Step size is 1. So after 1, if you add 1, it will be 2. So I is equal to 2 now. 2 is equal to 5. It's false. So 2 will be printed again. And I will be equal to 3 because step size is 1. And 3 is equal to 5. It is false. 3 will be outputted. Then I will be equal to 4. 4 is equal to 5. It's false. 4 will be outputted. Then I will be equal to 5. 5 is equal to 5. It is correct. Then it will end. So let's do that example with a for loop. You will write for I in range. Starting point should be 0, stop point should be 100, and step size should be 1. If your step size is 1, you may not write it. It's up to you. Don't forget colon. Then print I. We will print I. Now let's run and see the output of this code. Okay, as you see, we have printed out all numbers from 0 to 99. In order to print out 100 also, you should write here 101. Yes. Now, what if you write here step size 2? As you see, it started from 0, then it became 2 immediately because the step size is 2. Then 4, 6, 8. Like this, you can print out all even numbers. In order to print out all odd numbers, you should start with 1 and you can make the step size 2. So first number will be 1, second 3, then 5. From 0 to 100, you can print all odd numbers like this. Now let me show you the several examples. On the first example, you have to output numbers from 20 to 250. Let me use the function for I in range, starting point 20 till 250. Step size is 1, all numbers it's saying. If the step size is 1, you may not write it. It's up to you. Let's not write it. Colon, print I. Till 249. Now in order to include 250 also, you should write here 251. Yes, it started from 20. Let's do next example. Output all numbers from 1 to n. So here we have a variable n, and variable n, we should input it. We will ask the variable n from the user. Now I will use this variable n in range function. Starting point should be 1, then the end point should be n, and also inclusively, so I will write n plus 1. As it's writing here all numbers, I will not write here step size. Print I. Here it's asking us for the number n. Let it be 44%. So it outputted from 1 to 44. Output all numbers from minus 100 to 1. So I will use a function for it should, starting point should be minus 100, end point should be 1. So I will write 2 and all numbers, print I. So it started from minus 100, minus 99, minus 98 till 1. Output all numbers from 1 to 200 and increased by 7. So the first number will be 1, second number will be 8, then 15, then 22. It should go like this. So for I in range from 1 to 200, step size should be 7. Let's print. As you see, first number is 1, 8, 15, 22, and like this, till 200. Next example is output all numbers from 0 to 100, that is divisible by 10. So you can write like this, in range from 0 to 100, and here you can use a function if I is divisible by 10 from the previous lesson, then print out the I. So here inside of the for we have put an if, and if it is divisible by 10, the remainder if it's 0, then you will output I. As you see, all numbers that is divisible by 10 is outputted. Second way of doing this is just writing here the step size 10. Yes, they do the same thing. Now the most important part here, if you, as it was in if you forget here a tab, and if you try to run, there will be an unexpected error. So here you have forgotten the tab. Don't forget this colon also. This is a syntax. Drawing shapes with loops. Let me show you how to draw this hexagon. Hexagon has 6 sides. And if you draw 3 lines like this, you will divide one hexagon into 6 equilateral triangles. As we know, equilateral triangle has equal angles like this. All the angles will be 60 degrees. Now, after going forward, you have to turn to the right for 60 degrees too. And from all corners it will be the same. Now let me show it in Python. Here I have created canvas, turtle. Let's go forward for 150. Then you have to turn right for 60 degrees. And then you will again go forward, turn right, go forward, turn right. You will do these 2 operations 6 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's run. We have completed. Now this code may be a little bit longer. You can do this code with the help of for loop. Let me show it. I will create an I variable in range from 1 to 7. You can write, or from 0 to 6. Then you will perform these 2 operations. So don't forget to put here tab. Let's run. So we have completed the hexagon with the loop also. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Like this, in your activity book, try to do this 4 shapes.